So you're going into preterm labor. Now what? This is, it's not something I know that you've expected to have to endure. And I've been there before. So I know this moment may have caught you by surprise. And I just want you to take a moment to breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. As I mentioned, I've gone through it in the same aspect at 22 weeks and 6 days. And hearing the stark words of the doctors coming into your room with not such great news, having to make decisions on whether to save your baby and, resuscitate your baby once they're born, or do comfort care, which is to let the baby come on their own without any intervention. And once they are born, the baby will pass on its own without any type of intervention, resuscitation, and whatnot. And that's hard. That is something that I don't feel any parent should have to go through. But the reality is, so many of us have to go through it. And it's like, well, what do you do when you are now in this situation? So I just want to offer a little bit of support and kind of soften the hardness of the situation as best as I can. I'm very sympathetic to it, like I said, because I've walked in those shoes 19 months ago with my own son. And for us, we were given overwhelming statistics. We were given statistics that, cause our heads to spin. I mean, they told us that our son had a 20% chance of surviving. 20%. 20%. And then another doctor said, and if he survives, he may not thrive. But we don't know. Another doctor, we asked her, well, do you believe in miracles? And she looked me square in my face, straight face, and said, I believe in science. So with all of those things on the table, you have to imagine that that's such a heavy, heavy burden as a parent, as a first-time mom, carrying this child and knowing what they're telling you and having to say, okay, Lord, what do I do? My husband and I and my family, we love Jesus. We are firm believers. We are Christians. Jesus is in our hearts. We have a personal relationship. And it was just like, okay, for us, we're like, Lord, what do we do? So the first thing that we did, we came together, my husband and I, and we prayed and we cried. We prayed some more. We called our family. They came in, it was in the wee hours of the morning, and they came there to support us and they cried with us. And, even talking about it is a little tough because it's hard. It's hard having to say to my OB, do whatever you can to save my son. I don't care what happens to me, just save my son. Like, he deserves a chance. And he gave my son a chance. And I'm so grateful that we took the time to pray and to cry and to really step out on faith and say, God, you brought us to this, and we know that you didn't bring us here to leave us. So we're gonna trust you to lead us down this path, and we don't know what it's gonna look like, but we trust you. And we trusted him without knowing whether our son was actually gonna be born breathing. And it was really, really hard. And like I said, just even talking about it is like bringing up emotions that, it's like, whew, okay. But I think it's important to really take the time to feel those feelings, feel those emotions, seek wise counsel, talk to your spouse, talk to your partner, and talk to the doctors and advocate for your baby. If you want them to save your baby, if there's a chance, if there's a 1% chance, I say fight for your baby. Your baby deserves it. Once you make that decision, you go forward and you ride the wheels until they fall off. For us, I was on bed rest for 4 days, and I was on a host of medications. I've tracked all of my medications, from steroid shots to antibiotics, magnesium, surfactant, everything to protect myself and to protect my unborn baby boy. And once it was go time, the baby was born. We had an emergency C-section, and it was a tough day. And I tried to remain as calm as possible. I was in labor for 10 hours. The pain was excruciating, but we made that decision. I said, whatever it takes to bring my son into this world, we're gonna do it. We did it, and they saved his life. They saved his life, and he's a walking, talking, living, breathing miracle. And it's a humbling experience. It's one that, the reason I'm so passionate about helping others, because I know what that pain feels like, having to go through it and make those decisions, and it's hard. And you need that support. At the time, I didn't have anyone who had went through what I was going through, who could walk with me and hold my hand. We had a lot of people praying for us and cheering us on and giving us positive stories, but until you go through it and until you can talk to someone who's gone through it, it's so different. So I just want to be that source of encouragement and tell you that if you're going into preterm labor, breathe, take a moment, be quiet, be still, let yourself cry, let yourself be angry if you need to. Let yourself feel whatever you have to feel. Pray. If you pray, prayer works. Talk to your spouse, talk to your partner. Give that decision to your OB. Stand by your decision. Also, try to just remain as calm as possible. Your baby is relying on you to keep it together. You're fighting for your life. You're fighting for your baby's life, and your baby's gonna come out, and your baby's gonna be fighting too. So I just want to give you those words today. Try to remain positive, keep a positive outlook, surround yourself with music or meditation, whatever you can to keep your spirits lifted, to keep a positive outlook, to keep just the positivity surrounding you. You don't want anything negative. If someone comes in talking negative, tell them, I don't want to hear negativity. I need positive. Positive mind, positive pregnancy, positive outcome. I guarantee you, if you keep your mind focused and laser pointed, laser focus on your baby and the health of your baby, you're gonna be just fine.